A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki, ISKCON's founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki, Grantharaj Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki, Shri Shri Radha Radhanath ki, Shri Giri Govardhan ki, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki, Sankirtan Yagya ki, Go Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Okay. It's the best we can do in terms of sounds for today. Some other time we'll do better, but anyway, not today. Drink something. Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda
Jai Advaita Chandra Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda Jai Advaita Chandra Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda Jai Advaita Chandra Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna. Phew, it's so dark. Is it in focus? I don't know. You know, it's so dark. We've got to try and adjust it. So. Oh, look at that. But now, see, now I'm too far over, right? I'm right on the side. No, that's the wrong way. Yeah, further. Okay. That'll do. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, and get it in focus. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, Chapter 14, Performance of the Vrindavan Pastimes, Text 37. Aha. Okay. All right. All righty. Kaya Patra Droni Aila Boja Panchasata Eka Jane Dasha Dona Dila Etapata. There then arrived 5 or 7 loads of plates made of the leaves of the Ketaki tree. Each man was supplied 10 of these plates, And in this way, the leaf dishes were distributed. Well, 10 leaf plates. Maybe they're small ones. I don't know. Kaitaki tree I'm not familiar with. But yes, okay. Anyway, Lord Chaitanya, he was really into prasadam distribution. He was really into prasadam distribution. And we read, if you remember last Sunday, we read about all the different preparations. There are many, many varieties of, well, it was mainly what we read at least was fruits and some dairy things, from the Balagandhi temple. And now Lord Chaitanya is personally going to distribute the prasadam. So each man was given 10 plates. Even if they're small plates, that's still a lot. Even if they're just little, little bolakis or whatever you call them. Oh well, okay. Let's see what happens. Kirtani Yara Parishram Jani Gora Roy Tan Sabare Kayoyate Prabhura Manadai. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu understood the labor of all the kirtan chanters. Therefore, he was very eager to feed them sumptuously. Panti Panti Kari Bhakta Gane Vasaila Pariveshan Karibare Apane Lagila. All the devotees sat down in lines, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally began to distribute the prasadam. Yes. Prabhu nakaile keha nakare bojana Swarupa Gosani Tabe Kaila Nivedana. But the devotees would not accept the prasadam until Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took it. Swarupa Goswami informed the Lord of this. Apane Vaisha Prabhu Bojana Karite Tumina Kaila Keha Na Pare Kaite. Swarup Damodar said, "My Lord, please sit down. No one will eat until you do." Tabe Mahaprabhu Vaise, Nijagana Lana, Bojana Karaila Sabke, Akanta Puriya. At that time, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sat down with his personal associates. We mentioned last week, I think it was last week, if you remember, that Lord Chaitanya, there were many devotees, actually. I mean, the population was devotees, pretty much. But Lord Chaitanya had his personal associates with whom he was doing all the main exchanges. But then there are, as we've said, many other devotees and Gaudiya Vaishnavas who accepted Lord Chaitanya, and they were serving Lord Chaitanya, and they understood him to be the Supreme Lord, or at least they worshipped him with great dedication. And I think generally they accepted him to be the Supreme Lord. But Lord Chaitanya did not have so many real personal exchanges with them. Those things were going on with that closer group, which was very close group. So anyway, at that time, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sat down with his personal associates and had every one of them fed very sumptuously until they were filled to the necks. Well, okay. You know, we've had experience with Indradyumna Maharaj and Govinda Maharaj. I don't know if any of you here have experienced that. Let me just drink some water and I'll tell you. There are a few times I remember here where they cooked some of the things. And I remember one time in particular, the feast was at Shamlal Prabhu's house, which at the time was up sort of Unit 9 side. So we went there. There was, I don't know, several of us, say possibly 10, maybe 7 or 8. And Govinda Maharaj and Indradyumna Maharaj served the prasadam. Sri Sri Radha Radhanath Sri Giri Govardhan Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Ki Jai. So they served the prasadam like this, very sumptuously, until all the devotees were filled to the necks. And then they served more. And then after that, they served even more. It was just, you know, it was out of control. It was bizarre, actually. It really was. And everyone was just, you know, I think in danger. And I remember when we drove back, Bhakti Brihad Bhagavat Maharaj was in the car immediately in front of our car. And he was in the back, passenger side, left side, and you couldn't see him. All you could see was this arm sticking out the window. Some fallen soldier or something. Sure. And there were other times too. I remember up in Yeovil, we had a preaching center there. They came, both the two of them came, and the same thing happened. Wow. I mean, I can't manage it. I just can't. Even in those days, I couldn't. Bhojana Kari Vasila Prabhu, Kari Achamana, Prasada Ubarila Kaya, Sahasreka Jana. After finishing, the Lord washed his mouth and sat down. There was so much extra prasadam that it was distributed to thousands. Prabhura Agyaya Govinda, Dina Hina Jane. Do you understand that? Prabhu Agyaya Govinda. You understand that? Agyaya. He ordered. Yeah. The Lord ordered Govinda, Dina Hina Jane, the very poor people. Duki Kangala Ani Karaya Bojane. Following the orders of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Govinda, his personal servant, called for all the poor beggars who were unhappy due to their poverty and fed them sumptuously. Kangalera Bojana Ranga, Deke Gora Hari Bola Bali Tare, Upadesha Kari. Observing the beggars eating prasadam, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chanted Hari Bol and instructed them to chant the holy name. Kangala means beggar in Bengali. Kangalera, of the beggars. Yeah. Bojanaranga, while they were in the process of eating, Lord Chaitanya told them, Hari Bola Bali, chant Hari Bol. So, purport by Srila Prabhupada. In a song, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur chants, Miche Maira Vase Yacha Beshe Kacha Habudubu Bai Jiv Krishna Das E Vishvas Karale Tara Dukanai. You know, when I joined the temple in London, we would have bhajan nights, or not actually, we would sing bhajans sometimes. And this was one of the bhajans. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, we don't sing it these days. How does it go? Hari Bola Bola Re, Jiv Krishna Dasa. Anyway, nice, lively bhajan. O people, why are you being captivated by the waves of the ocean of nescience? If you would immediately accept Lord Sri Krishna as your eternal master, there would be no chance of being carried away by the waves of illusion. Then all your sufferings would stop. Krishna conducts the material world under the three modes of material nature, and consequently there are three platforms of life, higher, middle, and lower. On whatever platform one may be situated, one is tossed by the waves of material nature. Someone may be rich, someone may be middle class, and someone may be a poor beggar. It doesn't matter. As long as one is under the spell of the three modes of material nature, he must continue to experience these divisions. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu therefore advised the beggars to chant Hari Bol while taking prasadam. Chanting means accepting oneself as the eternal servant of Krishna. This is the only solution, regardless of social position. Everyone is suffering under the spell of Maya. Therefore, the best course is to learn how to get out of the clutches of Maya. How to do so is stated by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita 14:26. Mam chiyo vyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samatityaitan brahma bhuya kalpate. One who engages in full devotional service, unfailing in all circumstances, at once transcends the modes of material nature and thus comes to the level of Brahman. One can overcome the spell of Maya and attain the transcendental platform by agreeing to engage in the devotional service of the Lord. Devotional service begins with Shravanam Kirtanam, as Prahlad Maharaj actually explains in Srimad Bhagavatam 7.5.23. Therefore, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu advised the beggars to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra for elevation to the transcendental position. On the transcendental platform, there is no distinction between the rich, the middle class, and the poor. Let's just say a few words about this, and then if there's time, we'll continue reading. Yes, so Srila Prabhupada quotes this verse from Bhaktivinoda Thakur's song, that all you people, addressing the materialistic people, ordinary people in the material world, all you people, you are just captivated by the waves of the ocean of nescience. I don't know if you've ever been captured, or sort of, captured, say, by the waves in the sea and bashed. Really, like really bashed. Can be very nasty. Actually, just after I left New Zealand, one of my associates, not friends, but someone I knew fairly well, a surfing partner, who was a bit of a, anyway, he was surfing with my brother, and somehow he got caught and he drowned. Yeah, even though he's competent swimmer, to be a surfer, you've got to be able to swim and know how things work. But after a while, they just noticed his board had been washed up on the beach and he was nowhere to be seen. And his body came to the surface couple of days later or something. Yes, so the waves of the ocean of nescience, particularly if you don't know how to deal with it, but even if you do know how to deal with it, when it gets rough enough, there's nothing you can do. Yeah. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur is singing like that. All of you people, you're caught by these waves of nescience. And of course, from time to time, your head comes up out of the water and you may feel, yes, it's okay, I'm all right. But then not long at all after, the next wave comes. Yeah. And even myself, I remember a few times, surfing in places where there's a rock bottom. It's all rocks, and being smashed on the rocks under the water and hitting my head on the rocks. Maybe that's why I'm a little. Yeah. And things like that. So the material world, we're in the human form of life. So it's sort of like our heads are out of the water more, you could say, for the time being. Even amongst human beings, people get smashed every now and then by the waves of nescience. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur is questioning, why? Why are you captivated by these waves? Can't you see what they're doing to you? Well, the answer to that question is sometimes not. Sometimes not. Or, well, if you would immediately accept Lord Sri Krishna as your eternal master,